Good evening, my name is Daniil and today I will present to you about the topic of Seni Budaya, also called art. I will be explaining to you the first chapter, which talks about paintings and the way that they are used to express one's feelings and such. But first, before we can do that, we're gonna have to begin with the most simple thing, that is the definition of art and painting in general. Art in painting is the practice of applying paint, pigment, or other medium to a solid surface. The medium that can only be applied to the base with a brush, but other elements such as knives, sponges, and brushes can be used. In art, the term painting represents both the act and the result of the action. So whilst you are working on it, it's still considered painting, and when you're done with it, it is also considered a painting. Thus, it is both a painting during the process and at the end of it. There are many different aims of art. Art is made with several aims. Those are the first one we're going to talk about is the religious one. I'm sorry. The art that is the aim of art is made with the decision to express yourself with a certain direction. For example, there are people who express themselves via religious means, via criticizing means, via expressionism, stuff like that. So religious aim is one of those examples, and I'm going to explain it to you briefly so that you can understand it and get the hang of it. Religious aim is art with the religious aim has been seen throughout the ages and is considered one of the older types of art. The belief that expressing yourself with a painting will bring you closer to God can be seen in most of these pictures. As you can see, this is an example of a religious painting. The painting is titled The Creation of Adam and is represented by God and Adam in a painting. The other usage of art, there are other aims of art as well. And as the society and the culture grew, there were more aims, but most of them are still coupled in 3 or 4 other terms, such as the aim to criticize something, as I explained earlier, the aim to just sell it, so it is not really that expressioning, it is just a way to commercialize and sell it. And then there's the expressionism, which is the complete opposite, as it allows one to express themselves via art. There are different types of painting as well. As there is an aim, there's also different types of painting. For example, the most common art that you can see is a form of art that is representative. So basically it explains something, it shows something, it explains to you its aims and such. So the representative art can be found in the whole world, like through the world that we as humans can see. For example, it's naturalism, where one just captures an image of let's say a ship, for example, and then they paint it. That's naturalism. There's realism, which just captures something that has happened, like a photograph, but because photographs are something that is considered new to the current age, it is painting has been used to replace that. As such, you can often see portraits of people who have lived years and years before pictures were a thing. And then there's romantic, which is used for someone to show their liking towards something or someone, such as romantic arts of romance and such things like that. And then there's expressionism, where one expresses themselves truly through art, be it a self-portrait which shows their thoughts and shows their feelings, or something another. As you can see before you are several examples of art and then their types. And then there is the non-representative art, which is compromised out of shapes and several lines, as it is unable to be found in the real world, and thus one cannot really show it without having to use their own creativity to create shapes and things like that, so that the viewer can understand and connect to it like it should be on a simpler term. There are several art themes as well. Each human has a point of view of their own, and that is what an art theme is. So basically it is a theme that falls through the art. For example, the most common usages of it are of a man or a human with himself, aka a portrait about someone or something someone you care about, for example a man or your mother, your father, or something like that. And then there is the man with the world around it. So for example, it's a picture of a person with the interesting view behind them, or just the picture of the interesting view, because it doesn't need to have a person for it to be a picture with man, because at the end of it someone had to draw it, and that is the man. The man that represents itself can be seen in various stages, such as his activities or his ideas. So there's a painting of a man or just some other person working, and that is a man with his activities or their activities or her activities. And as such, my current explanation comes to an end, as it explains the most important topic that I'm trying to deliver here, and that is the way to express yourself via art. Expressing yourself via art is important so that you can find a way to communicate your thoughts and feelings without having to use words, as some people aren't able to use words or unable to use them to such an extent that it actually gets the whole meaning of it done, as it is much more simpler to use a painting that can explain everything without the need of words, as long as it's a proper painting. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye. God bless you.